to start off with some review of the previous two lessons, and you will need a piece of paper and a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video until everybody has that, and then you can restart it. So to begin with, I want you to solve this problem. So you should pause the video right now, and I want you to try to solve this problem using a rectangular fractional model. And then I will show you the answer. So this is, the first step is always going to be to draw a rectangle. And I always put the half on the first fraction on the left side and the second fraction on the bottom, but it really doesn't matter which one you put where. Draw a rectangle, and since this is a half, I am going to split the rectangle in half. And then I am going to shade one of those half pieces because I have a 1 in my numerator. Then I'm going to look at my 1/3, and I am going to split the rectangle again, only this way, going horizontally instead of vertically. It's going to make it into thirds going up. And I'm going to highlight this one here and shade it in blue. And now I can see by looking at this picture and going back to this one that this section right here is the overlap, so I'm going to change that one into green, since yellow and blue make green, just like yesterday. So the answer, you should be able to see, I have 6 pieces total, so that is my denominator, and I have one of them that overlaps, so my answer is 1/6. And it doesn't need to be simplified, so I could move on. Next, try this one. 1/3 of 3/4. Again, make sure you're using a rectangular fractional model. Pause the video for as long as you need for most people to be done, and then I will show you the answer. Okay, again, you're going to start off with drawing a rectangle, and then I have 1/3 on this side, so I'm going to split it into thirds going across, and then I'm going to shade in one of those thirds, like that, because 1 is my numerator, and then I have fourths, so I need to split it into fourths going up. So that takes 3 lines going across, and it says, oops, this is a mistake, that should say, let's go back up to here, this should say 3/4, and this should say, it's probably copy and paste mistake, that should say 3/4, and then the next ones will. So I'm going to highlight 3 out of the 4 sections that I made. And again, looking back to this, I can see that these 3 right here overlap with the blue. So yellow and blue make green. So I have 3 of them green. Now here's the answer, says it's 3/12. 3, 6, 9, 12 sections. That's my denominator. 3 are shaded in, so that are green, overlapping. So 3 is my numerator. Except for it needs to be simplified. 3 is the GCF of 3/12. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4, making the final answer 1/4. 3/5 of 1/2. Try to solve this problem on your own. Pause the video, and I'll give you the answer. Okay, again, draw a rectangle. I see fifths, so I'm going to split it into 5 parts. Now I see 3 as my numerator, so I need to highlight 3 of them. Oops. Then I have half, so then I'm going to go from here to here, split it in half, and I'm going to highlight one of my halves, and then I can see that these three would be overlapping with yellow and blue, so I would change those to green like that. So the answer is 3 of them out of 10, and that happens to be already simplified, 3/10. So that's the end of the review. Now we're going to do some really older, a lot older review, just because I believe in some soon coming up lessons we're going to go back into decimals. So I guess they want you to remember how to write fractions as decimals. So we're going to go through this fairly quickly because I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I just want you guys to say out loud the answer. Don't have to write it down. So say this as a fraction. How would you say that in words? You should have said 1/10. Well, how do you write 1/10 as a decimal? Everyone should have said 0.1, because that is 1/10 as a decimal. How about this? How do you say this fraction? Should have said 2/10. Did I write that as a decimal, everyone? 0.2. How about 9/10? Oop, I just gave the answer. So it's 9/10. How do I write 9/10 as a decimal? Everyone? 0.9. Switch it up. How about hundredths? How do I write? So first of all, how do I say this fraction? 2/100. How do I write it as a decimal? 0.02. How about 8/100? Keep giving the answer. So there it is, 8/100 is how you would say it. How do you write it as a decimal? 0.08. How about this fraction? How would you say this fraction? 11/100. And you write it as a decimal? You would say 0.11. How about 53/100? I did it again. 53/100. Write it as a decimal. See a typo here. Should be 0.53. Okay, now we're going to convert fractions to hundredths. So if I have fifths, how many hundredths would that be? Remember, how many times does 5 go into 100? 5 times what is 100? The answer is 20, so 20 times 1 is 20, so the missing number in the question mark is 20. So 1/5 equals 20 100ths. Well, what about 4/5? You can call on people. Oop, I just gave it 80 100ths. 4 times 20 is 80. 5 times 20 is 100. How about 1/50th equals how many hundredths? You can call on people to give an answer quickly. If they know, it should be 200ths because 50 times 2 is 100. 1 times 2 is 2. How about 9/50ths? Calling somebody. Should have gotten 18/100ths. What 11/50ths? Should have gotten 22 100ths. What about 1/25th? How many hundredths would that be? The answer is 4. How about 2/25ths? Let's go back. 25 times 4 is 100, so 1 times 4 is 4. Same thing here, times 4. So numerator times 4, what's missing? Should have said 8. How about 12/25ths? About 12/25ths. that in 24/100ths. That's the end of this video. You're still going to need paper and pencil, so if you need some extra pieces of paper, if you need to get some more, please do so now while you change over to the second video.